Good morning, friends. Good morning. Wow, that was great. Thank you. Welcome to the Keene Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Chris McDermott, and I currently have the privilege of serving on the board, which is the main reason I'm up here, because it was one of the assignments. But anyone can do this, really. One of many things I love about our community is this: whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. And in thinking about that, I was reminded that that's not always the case. It wasn't the case in the church that I went to as a child. So it really is something. Anyway, we are delighted that you are here, whether you are here with us in our beautiful and historic sanctuary or watching us from home on YouTube live stream. If you are new here today or just feel new, we so welcome you. Each week we designate an ambassador to help you get to know our church, our faith, our community, and answer any questions you may have. Our ambassador for today is Deb McClay. There's Deb. Also, can everyone just wave to the live stream people? I forgot about that one. Thanks, excellent job. Top notch. We also invite you, these are the newer folks, to sign the guest book located at the front of the sanctuary, right there. And we hope you will join us for coffee or tea in our parish hall following the service. Parish hall is right through the door here. We welcome all children and the sounds they make. Your cell phones, however, we welcome you to please silence. Finally, most importantly, we hope you will find something in our service today that proves useful in your daily life and provides you with hope, grace, and energy for the week ahead.
Good morning. Is it okay? There we go. Good morning. My name is Frank Dubisky, and I'm president of the church board with some very sad news this morning. Some of you may already have heard, but we lost our beloved office administrator, Susan McNeil. Very sudden, with little or no warning. Susan, as several people have said to me this morning, was a force to be reckoned with, and that she was. This is leaving an incredible hole in our administrative staff, and for me personally, it is a real blow. Since becoming president of the board, there have been a lot of tasks that have come to me, and it was Susan who provided a lot of the relief for that, and we're going to have to fill these shoes, and they're going to be big shoes to fill. Rich Clark is going to light a candle in Susan McNeil's memory, and once we have information on services and arrangements, we'll share that with everyone, but I assume that you feel the sorrow that I do for this loss, and we'll soldier on as a congregation, and but keep Susan in your memory. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Richard Clark, and I've had the privilege of being a part of this congregation for about 2 years now. And as Frank was speaking, I was just struck by the value and the power of being a part of a community like this, especially when we have news and we have challenging times in life. I feel very happy and privileged to be a part of a community like this, where we can support each other and care for each other during these kinds of times. I also am happy to be able to lead the service for us today. And the opening words come from Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay, Self-Reliance. Insist on yourself. Never imitate. Your own gift you can present every moment with the cumulative force of a whole life's cultivation. But of the adopted talent of another, you have only an extemporaneously half possession. Do that which is assigned to you, and you cannot hope too much or dare too much. And now I'll invite Betty Forrest forward to light our chalice. And as she does so, we'll read the chalice lighting words, which are found in your order of service. We kindle this flame to remind ourselves of the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. I just want to say a quick thank you to John Walter, who came in and made sure that you had the order of services ready for you this morning so that we could follow along and do those things. And now, let us rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 1051, which is found in the Teal hymnal, We Are.
Rises and sings to the universe. Who
There we go. Okay, all right, all right. So our story this morning is called And to the Fox. And it's kind of a way to think about it. It can be a little confusing, And to the Fox. I sort of think about it as, and also the fox. The fox is not the star of the show. The fox is not the leader of the group. The fox kind of takes its own path and does its own thing and is happy in its own life. The book is by Ada Limon, who was the Poet Laureate for the United States in 2022, and the art is by Gabby D'Alessandro. And I'm just going to let everybody stay where they are today, and I'll kind of come close so that I can show the pictures to all of you guys. And to the Fox. Comes with its streak of red flashing across the lawn. Squirrel bound and bouncing, almost as if it were effortless to hunt. Food being an afterthought, or just a little boring. It's like that squirrel got away, made it to the tree. That's good. He doesn't say a word, just uses those 4 black feet to silently go about his work, which doesn't seem like work at all, but play. He's splashing in the water. Fox lives on the edges, pieces together a living out of leftovers. And lazy rodents, too slow for the telephone pole. He takes what he needs. He takes only what he needs. And lives a life that some might call small. Has a few friends. Looks like maybe some cubs over here. Likes the grass when it's soft and green. Never cares how long you watch. Never cares what you need when you're watching. Here's a boy, looks like a boy and a mother maybe, or a girl and a mother watching from a window. Never cares what you do once he is gone. And that's the end. So Fox lives his own life. And in some ways, when I got to the end of the story the first time, I went, oh. It's not a warm, fuzzy ending. But there's something calming about the fact that the fox is happy in his own skin and doesn't really need things. He doesn't really need anything from you, but is happy being himself and contributing what he has to the world. So. And now we'll invite the youth out to their classes and sing them out. At this time, we'll now collect our offering. If you're new or visiting today, we invite you to let the basket pass, as your presence with us is already a gift. And now I invite you to read the offering dedication words, which are found in the order of service. We dedicate these gifts to the service of our mission to actively create compassionate community and work for a fair and peaceful world. As we come to the heart of our service, I invite you to settle into a position that for you embodies poise and dignity. Remembering that composing yourself in this way is no small thing, but a powerful prayer in itself. In this moment, may you feel the firm but gentle holding of your breath and body. The holding of this community, of the earth, and of the ground of being which is underneath and within this shared silence. I'll begin and end our meditation with a chant used by Professor Teama Sher as part of the ritual craft class at Star King. I'll perform the chant twice, leave about a minute of silence, and then bring us out of silence by performing the chant twice more. You're welcome to hum or sing along as you feel drawn, or to sit in silence. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way, the way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way, the way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. Now I invite Sherry Buskey to do our first reading.
That was beautiful, Rich. Beautiful. This is a reading called What is My Job on the Planet with a capital J, from Wherever You Go, There You Are, by Jon Kabat-Zinn. What is my job on the planet is one question we might do well to ask ourselves over and over again. Otherwise, we may wind up doing somebody else's job and not even know it. And what's more, that somebody else might be a figment of our own imagination and may be a prisoner of it as well. Buckminster Fuller, the discoverer and inventor of the geodesic dome, at 32, contemplated ending his life for a few hours one night at the edge of Lake Michigan, as the story goes, after a series of business failures that left him feeling he had made such a mess of his life that the best move would be for him to remove himself from the scene and make things simpler for his wife and infant daughter. However, Fuller also had a deep conviction in the underlying unity and order of the universe, and knew himself to be an integral part of it. So instead of ending his life, Fuller decided to live from then on as if he had died that night. Being dead, he wouldn't have to worry about how things worked out any longer. For himself personally, it would be free to devote himself to living as a representative of the universe. The rest of his life would be a gift. Instead of living for himself, he would devote himself to asking, what is it on this planet that needs doing? That I know something about that probably won't happen unless I take responsibility for it. He decided he would just ask that question continuously and do what came to him. I like to frame such efforts in question form. What is my job on the planet with a capital J? Or what do I care so much about that I would pay to do it? You can start asking this question any time, any age. There is never a time of life when it would not have a profound effect on your view of things and the choices you make. It may not mean that you will change what you do, but it may mean that you change how you see it, or hold it, or perhaps how you do it. Once the universe is your employer, very interesting things start to happen, even if somebody else is cutting your paycheck. Fuller himself was fond of stating that what seems to be happening at the moment is never the full story of what is really going on. He liked to point out that for the honeybee, it is the honey that is important, but the bee is at the same time nature's vehicle for carrying out cross-pollination of the flowers. Interconnectedness is a fundamental principle of nature. Nothing is isolated. Each event connects with others. Things are constantly unfolding on different levels. It's for us to perceive it all as best we can and learn to follow our own threads through the tapestry of life with authenticity and resolve. Fuller didn't live long enough to see it, but in addition to all his inventions and ideas, a whole new field of chemistry opened up around the unpredicted discovery of soccer ball-like carbon compounds with remarkable properties, which quickly became known as Buckminster fullerenes, or buckyballs. Playing in his sandbox, following his own path, his musings led to discoveries and worlds he never dreamed of. So can ours.
Morning. My name is Gwen Powers, and I will be doing the second reading called Bring Your Whole Self to the Experience from the 5 Invitations by Frank Ostaseski. Sorry, I knew I was going to get it wrong, and I really tried, but I'm going to start reading now. Perfect, thank you. Imagine you had a photo of yourself printed on thick, stiff cardboard. Now imagine that that photo was not just of your face, or even the length of your body, but somehow represented a multi-dimensional image of your whole being, including all the parts of your personality. Suppose you fed that board through a laser, cutting dye to make it into a jigsaw puzzle. Visualize spreading all 1,000 interlocking pieces out on a table and starting to assemble the puzzle. You might begin with the corners or an easily recognizable part like your hand, but as you progressed, you might come upon a puzzle piece you didn't like. For example, your fear. You might muse, I think I will leave this piece out. Or you might come upon your lust and say, no, my spiritual teacher told me that lust is no good. I can't include this piece. And so it would continue with your deeming certain aspects of yourself acceptable and other parts totally unacceptable. After a while, you wouldn't be able to recognize yourself in the puzzle because you would be looking at such a fragmented image. You wouldn't be able to see the full picture. We all like to look good. We long to be seen as strong, intelligent, sensitive, spiritual, or at least well-adjusted. We project a positive self-image. Few of us want to be known for our helplessness, fear, anger, or ignorance, or want others to know that sometimes we're more of a mess than we'd like to admit. Yet more than once, I found an undesirable aspect of myself, one about which I previously had felt ashamed and kept tucked away, to be the very quality that allowed me to meet another person's suffering with compassion instead of fear or pity. It is not our expertise, but rather the wisdom gained from our own suffering, vulnerability, and healing that enables us to be of real assistance to others. It is the exploration of our inner lives that facilitates us in forming an empathetic bridge from our experience to theirs. To be whole, we need to include, accept, and connect all parts of ourselves. We need acceptance of our conflicting qualities and the seemingly incongruity of our inner and outer worlds. Wholeness does not mean perfection. It means no part left out.
Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 354 in the gray, dark gray hymnal and I don't have the title here, but it's hymn number 354. We laugh, we cry. Thank you.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We
In place of a sermon or a written reflection, I decided today to read a section of a book by Parker J. Palmer called Let Your Life Speak, because it felt like it really connected to the theme of the service today. And the title of this chapter is called Listening to Life. It begins with a poem by William Stafford called Ask Me. Sometime when the river is ice, ask me mistakes I have made. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. I will listen to what you say. You and I can turn and look at the silent river and wait. We know the current is there, and there are comings and goings from miles away that hold the stillness exactly before us. What the river says, that is what I say. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. For some, those words will be nonsense, nothing more than a poet's loose way with language and logic. Of course what I've done is my life. To what am I supposed to compare it? But for others, and I am one, the poet's words will be precise, piercing, and disquieting. They remind me of moments when it is clear, if I have eyes to see, that the life I'm living is not the same as the life that wants to live in me. In those moments, I sometimes catch a glimpse of my true life, a life hidden like the river beneath the ice. And in the spirit of the poet, I wonder, what am I meant to do? Who am I meant to be? When I was in my early 30s, I began literally to wake up to questions about my vocation. By all appearances, things were going well, but the soul does not put much stock in appearances. Seeking a path more purposeful than accumulating wealth, holding power, winning a competition, or securing a career, I had started to understand that it's indeed possible to live a life other than one's own. Fearful that I was doing just that, but uncertain about the deeper truth I sensed hidden in me, uncertain whether it was real, or trustworthy, or within reach, I would snap awake in the middle of the night and stare for long hours at the ceiling. Then I ran across the old Quaker saying, "Let your life speak." I found those words encouraging, and I thought I understood what they meant, which was to let the highest truths and values guide you. Live up to those demanding standards in everything you do. Because I had heroes at the time who seemed to be doing exactly that, this exhortation had incarnate meaning for me. It meant living a life like that of Martin Luther King Jr., or Rosa Parks, or Mahatma Gandhi, or Dorothy Day. A life of high purpose. So I lined up the loftiest ideals I could find and set out to achieve them. The results were rarely admirable, often laughable, and sometimes grotesque. But always they were unreal, a distortion of my true self, as must be the case when one lives from the outside in and not the inside out. I had simply found a noble way to live a life that was not my own. A life spent imitating heroes instead of listening to my heart. Today, some 30 years later, let your life speak means something else to me, a meaning faithful both to the ambiguity of those words and to the complexity of my own experience. And the meaning is this: before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen to what it intends to do with you. Before you tell your life what truths and values you've decided to live up to, let your life tell you what truths you embody, and what values you represent. My youthful understanding of let your life speak led me to conjure up the highest values I could imagine and then try to conform my life to them, whether they were mine or not. If that sounds like what we're supposed to do with values, it's because that's what we're often taught. There's a simplistic brand of moralism that wants to reduce ethical life to making a list, checking it twice, and then trying very hard not to be naughty but nice. But trying to live someone else's life or to live by an abstract norm will invariably fail and may even do great damage. Vocation, the way I was seeing it, becomes an act of will, a grim determination that one's life will go this way or that, whether it wants to or not. If the self is sin-ridden and will bow to truth and goodness only under duress, that approach to vocation makes sense. But if the self seeks not pathology but wholeness, as I believe it does, then the willful pursuit of vocation is actually an act of violence toward ourselves. Violence in the name of a vision that, however lofty, is forced on the self from without rather than grown from within. And true self, when violated, will always resist us, sometimes at great cost, holding our lives in check until we honor its truth. Vocation does not come from willfulness. It comes from listening. I must listen to my life and try to understand what it is truly about, quite apart from what I would like it to be about, or my life will never represent anything real in the world, no matter how earnest my intentions. That insight is hidden in the word vocation itself, which is rooted in the Latin for voice. Vocation does not mean a goal that I pursue. It means a calling that I hear. Before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. I must listen for the truths and values at the heart of my own identity, not standards by which I should live, but standards by which I cannot help but live if I am living my own life. Behind this understanding of vocation is a truth that the ego does not want to hear because it threatens the ego's turf. Everyone has a life that is different from the I of daily consciousness, a life that is trying to live through the I, who is its vessel. This is what the poet knows, and what every wisdom tradition teaches, that there is often a gulf between the way my ego wants to identify me, with its protective masks and self-serving fictions, and my true self. It takes time and hard experience to sense the difference between the two, to sense that running beneath the surface of the experience I call my life is a deeper and truer life, waiting to be acknowledged. That fact alone makes listen to your life difficult counsel to follow. The difficulty is compounded by the fact that from our first days in school, we were taught to listen to everything and everyone but ourselves, to take all of our clues about living from the people and powers around us. I sometimes lead retreats, and from time to time, participants show me the notes they're taking as the retreat unfolds. The pattern is nearly universal. People take copious notes on what the retreat leader says, and they sometimes take notes on the words of certain wise people in the group. But rarely, if ever, do they take notes on what they themselves have said in the group. We listen for guidance everywhere except from within. I urge retreatants to turn their note-taking around, because the words we speak often contain counsel we are trying to give ourselves. We have a strange conceit in our culture that simply because we've said something, we understand what it means. But often we do not. Especially when we speak from a deeper place than intellect or ego, speak the kind of words that arise when the inner teacher feels safe enough to tell its truth. At that moment, we need to listen to what our lives are saying and take notes on it, lest we forget our own truth or deny we ever heard it. Verbalizing is not the only way our lives speak, of course. They speak through our actions and reactions, our intuitions and instincts, our feelings and bodily states of being, perhaps more profoundly than through our words. We are like plants, full of tropisms that draw us towards certain experiences and repel us from others. If we can learn to read our own responses to our own experience, a text we are writing unconsciously every day we spend on earth, we will receive the guidance we need to live more authentic lives. But if I'm going to let my life speak things I want to hear, things I would gladly tell others, I must also let it speak things I do not want to hear and would never tell anyone else. My life is not only about my strengths and virtues, it is also about my liabilities and my limits, my trespasses and my shadow. An inevitable, though often ignored dimension of the quest for wholeness is that we must embrace what we dislike or find shameful about ourselves, as well as what we're confident and proud of. That is why the poet says, "Ask me mistakes I have made." In my writing and teaching, I speak often about my own mistakes, the wrong turns I've taken, the misreadings of my own reality. For hidden in these moments are important clues to my own vocation. I do not feel despondent about my mistakes any more than the poet does, though I do grieve the pain they have sometimes caused others. Our lives are experiments with truth, to borrow the subtitle of Gandhi's autobiography, and in an experiment, negative results are at least as important as successes. I have no idea how I would have learned the truth about myself and my calling without the mistakes I have made. How are we to listen to our lives is a question worth exploring. In our culture, we tend to gather information in ways that do not work very well when the source is the human soul. The soul is not responsive to subpoenas or cross-examinations. At best, it will stand in the dock only long enough to plead the Fifth Amendment. At worst, it will jump bail and never be heard from again. The soul speaks its truth only under quiet, inviting, and trustworthy conditions. It reminds me of the fox from our story this morning. The soul is like a wild animal, tough, resilient, savvy, self-sufficient, and yet exceedingly shy. If we want to see a wild animal, the last thing we should do is go crashing through the woods, shouting for the creature to come out. But if we're willing to walk quietly into the woods and sit silently for an hour or two at the base of a tree, the creature we're waiting for may well emerge. And out of the corner of an eye, we will catch a glimpse of the precious wildness we seek. That is why the poem at the head of this chapter ends in silence. And now I invite Betty Forrest forward again to extinguish our chalice. And the words are in our order of service as well for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again. I invite you now to join me in the spirit of prayer. May we hear the voice of our soul speaking in our lives. May we have the courage to let our light shine brightly in this world. May we in this community pledge to support one another in walking our own paths. May we remember that we are now, and always have been, complete and whole. And may we faithfully weave our individual threads of wholeness into the tapestry of this congregation, our larger community, and the world. May it be so.